I grew up playing piano first. The way I got into organ was a funny situation. I knew who Jimmy Smith was. I checked it out, but I was so into Monk, Bud, Elmo Hope, Kenny Drew, all the Sonny Clark, all the, trio quartet records. That was my thing as opposed to big bands. I love that stuff. And so Gilly Coggins, I was studying with Gilly Coggins, who we all know, did that recording with Miles, and his comping was magical. Even Barry would be checking him out. Barry Harris would be looking at Gilly. He couldn't explain it, but I would study with him, just watch him, hang out with him, go have food with him, and he sent me on to sub for a gig for him. It was an organ gig, and I couldn't turn the organ on. So I was so pissed and mad. I figured it out, and I fell on my face. I could barely walk the bass lines because it wasn't like doing it on the piano, and it didn't have the same touch. And so then I said, let me figure this thing out. Then I got a Korg CX3, and then I just took off, getting into Larry Young and getting into everybody, Chester Thompson, Tower of Power, everybody who played organ I was checking out. And I was about, 19, 20, when it kind of possessed me. You could read Bach, and you could because I always say Bach was rhythmically perfect, and but we all know Bud Powell and all those cats studied Bach, and they loved Bach. That's what Bud did the recording of playing that. I forget what piece that is, but so for technique and all that, rhythmically is precise, and so when you read it, as long as you read it, okay, that's Bach, you know what it is. But when you read which is Trinkle Tinkle, everyone who reads it, it comes out different, and I tell them, you gotta listen to him, and then put your own little thing on it. And I think that's what I believe, even though I never met Monk. From the stories that I heard, Monk, Bud, all of those guys, Charlie Parker, they all said, get your own thing. So even if you took their thing, you got to put your spin on it. That's the biggest goal that I would love to get to or to accomplish, is to try and maybe get everybody to see what's going on. And obviously this is nothing new from Coltrane, Mingus, or Fables or Phobos. It was always you dealt with, the music was an expression. I mean, I play at Sister's Place, and what do they say? Culture is your weapon, or so. I'm kind of, I don't like to say weapon because you get scared when you say weapon, but the music is sort of a weapon to use to fight the craziness that's going on, and in the most nonviolent way, I guess.